Rodger Champagne of Champagne Productions has been making music his whole life. When he was 18, he won a new Canadian Artist Development Award. He used that award to start his career in the entertainment industry. Today, he's turned that passion to be creative into a business. He's here today to share his story, and he wants to debunk several myths about the business of being creative. Welcome to the show, Rodger.
Hey, Randy, thank you. Thanks for having me.
You are speaking my language. I've always been excited about that idea of combining creativity with business.
Yes. Yeah.
Talk to me.
Well, I mean, where do you start? I mean, I think we all grew up with, humming in the shower or singing or the different abilities that we have as children, right? And so mine was always singing and comedy. I loved the two, and, never thought growing up in a little town, Fisher Branch, Manitoba, Canada.
Fisher Branch?
Fisher Branch, yes.
I'll tell you a quick story about Saskatchewan. People say, I say, where are you from? They say, a little town in Saskatchewan, right?
Yeah.
And I say, well, which one? They go, you've never heard of it, right?
Yeah.
And I say, well, I know a lot of towns in Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
And then they say the name of the town, and it's always true. I've never heard of it.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of funny because as I've traveled west, and I've traveled, extensively around the world now for different reasons, and, I will inadvertently run into people that know where Fisher Branch is. So it is kind of interesting. Yeah.
So back in the day, you never would have pictured yourself being, I guess, what's the term? Impresario, entertainment entrepreneur.
Not at all.
So what's Champagne Productions up to?
Well, I think it's safe to say for myself that we are turning a corner which I never thought we would ever turn. So it's quite exciting in the sense that we're getting opportunities that sort of came out of ashes. You know how it is when you have dreams, and I mean, I've been a musician for years. I've done the circuit. I've been in front of record labels, and of course, I've had very limited success, as many musicians do. And
you were number one in Denmark.
I was number. How did you know that? Did you hear that? I was number one. I mean,
and for those of you that don't get that joke, there's a movie you need to see.
but that's kind of how it is. You get a little airplay in Europe, you get a little airplay here. But what it really boils down to is, do you have the energy and the time to stick with it? So early on, I sort of gathered that this is either going to be a hobby, or it's not going to be full time. And then out of those ashes came the idea to develop Champagne Productions in a way that we could be creative besides just music.
So can you share with us some of the stuff you're working on right now?
Yeah, we can. Out of my musicianship came the idea that when I was 19, sitting in front of A&M Records, the offer to me was a contract that was 90% A&M Records, 10% Rodger Champagne. So we know today that the industry has changed a lot. I mean, with downloads, with the internet, with being able to market yourself, it's a totally different ballgame.
Completely different.
It's
industry.
Completely different.
Yeah.
So it actually allows people to create their own, selves, really, in the sense of how you want people to view you. So what we came up with is a show called Hit Song. It's protected. We've had it in MIPCOM France. We've had the show, basically viewed from the business standpoint all over the world. And now we have an agreement with a company in LA to develop it. And what we're trying to do is say that you have many choices as an artist. There's songs like The Voice, there's shows like The Voice, and there's shows about music, and how are we going to be different is a big question always, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to give those who are part of our team the best deal they can get.
Do you even need a record deal anymore?
Yes and no. It really, again, I think it boils down to what the vision you have for your career is. As a young man, sitting in front, I was, at Capitol Records, and by the way, Capitol Records in Los Angeles Hal Milgram was the first guy to give me a real opportunity to present, my music. Out of those days, there was the ability to, obviously you need a record deal because you need the money, you need to go on the road. Now that you can be viewed so easily on YouTube, and that it really boils down to talent.
The myths about the entertainment business that you wanted to debunk. Talk to me about those.
Well, one of them I'm finding is, as we've developed good relationships in Los Angeles, and I'm sure I know that you know people down there, and there's this desire to get to know the person that can get you to the top. And I would say that you need to get to know the people and around you, and then you'll find the right way to the top. And what the top means is different for everybody, but for myself, it's getting to take an idea from inception. And of course, we know that there's not that many people pitching in Hollywood, so surely your idea can get there first. Right? So it's funny because when you have a good idea, that's where you start. But if you don't have a good idea, a good attitude, you won't go anywhere.
So it's a relationship business like every other business, but even more so because it's creative people. But there's creativity in all businesses.
Yeah, there is.
Champagne Productions is your company.
That's right.
You're developing TV shows. Mm-hmm. Are you still in the music business yourself?
Yeah, it's good that you ask. I mean, not in the way I was before. So now I'm looking at publishing deals and basically taking stuff that I've written. I'm currently working with an old rock favorite, Robbie Bachman from Bachman Turner Overdrive, and he's been a lot of fun to work with. Him and I are doing some projects together. He's by the way, he's got some great film from his tours all over the world with Bachman Turner Overdrive, and of course he knows a lot of people in the industry. But I'm developing, music to be maybe recorded by others, and I'll still tour and play. I've got a pretty good band and some good connections myself, but it would be more from just doing it for fun rather than being the rock star I once thought I could be.
Rodger Champagne, the show is called Hit Song.
Hit Song.
And I'm so excited that we get to find out about it before it hits the airwaves. Congratulations on everything you're doing. Thank you so much for being on
Randy.
Biz1on1. Really appreciate it.
Coming up next, Tina Fang of the Canadian Migration Institute.
Meet Andre. He's the founder of a new craft brewery. Andre has had early success with his company, but now he needs investors to help him grow his business and take it to the next level. This is where Front Funder comes in. You see, at Front Funder, we approach investing differently. We connect Andre to people like you and Mike, a craft beer enthusiast. By investing in Andre's company, Mike can continue to enjoy his craft beer while owning a piece of his favorite brewery. Then there's Kathy. She's a professional investor looking to diversify her portfolio. She also sees the potential for financial return in Andre's company. So Kathy invests through Front Funder. Front Funder enables you to support businesses you believe in. We screen all of our companies and perform an in-depth review, helping you make an informed investment decision. We make online investing simple and accessible to everyone. Select your favorite company, pay for your shares, and become an owner. It's that simple. An online investment experience from start to finish.
You think you know The Brick? Sure, everyone knows The Brick is the place for the guaranteed lowest prices on home furnishings. But do you know how we do it? Buying power, that's how. The Brick has over 200 locations across Canada, with over 7 million square feet of showrooms. That means we buy a lot of stuff from all over the world. And the more we buy, the more you save. The Brick. Saving you more. That's not just a slogan. Saving you more is our obsession.
Every time I come in, Chris always follows up with me, always asks me how my service was, if there's anything that they could have done better. He makes me feel really important.
You're not going to get treated better. The work done was awesome, but I thought that the personal touch and the service, Chris was always top-notch.
We've met new employees, and if I go back the next time, they know who we are. Whenever I take our cars in, I feel like I'm someone special. They treat me extremely well.
Tina Fang from the Canadian Migration Institute walked into an interview in her native China for an immigration agency. She not only got the job, she married the owner. Today, she and her husband run the Canadian Migration Institute, which specializes in bringing Chinese entrepreneurs into Canada, and she acts as a bridge that links the two nations. Welcome to Biz1on1, Tina.
Thank you, Randy.
So great to have you. You know, Canada and China have a long history that dates way back, and there's actually a wonderful relationship between the two countries. So it's pretty cool that you get to do what you're doing.
Yeah, I really enjoy what I'm doing because I got to meet so many excellent people, entrepreneurs, smart people, not only in Canada, but also in China. Because what I do, I help Chinese entrepreneurs to come invest into businesses in Canada. So I find them Canadian partners or Canadian projects they can invest in. And then not only I help Canadian businesses to grow, and I see a huge opportunities there for Canadians too, because if they only sell their products or services in Canada, we only have a small population. Canada has 35 million people. In China, this is a population of one city. So why not connect somebody who has the networks, relationships, and knows how to sell your products and services over there, and not only we can invest together, but also sell the products internationally.
So you're bringing people together, Chinese investors, people that want to immigrate, with entrepreneurs in Canada. You're kind of a matchmaker.
Yeah.
And you have your own very interesting matchmaking story about how you even got into this in the first place.
Well, I really love matchmaking because, I guess I never thought I would be in Canada. I never thought I would be helping people to come to Canada. I went for a job interview, and a person named John interviewed me. He was the owner of the company, and after he interviewed me, he gave me a job. Then later, he also offered me marriage, which is very awesome for me because, who gets this? You apply for a job, you get a husband for free. I was applying for an office manager, which the position was in charge of our Beijing office. And back then, because I just graduated from university, I was young, inexperienced. Everybody, when I went to a job interview, everybody was like, Tina, you shouldn't be applying for a management job. You should just apply for like a receptionist or clerk or something, because that will match you better because you just graduated. But I was always a student leader in school. I have always been very active and leading group of people. So I said, I'm not wasting any time. I like to do management job, and I should give myself a try. So, of course, nobody offered me a job at that level. But when I walked into John's company, which at that time is called Biz1on1 International. And I really enjoyed working for foreigners because I had a dream. Actually, that time was every Chinese new grad's dream was to work for a foreign company.
Why would that be? Tell me about that.
Because
concept.
at that time, in 2000, foreign companies were the most well-paid companies in China.
I want you to touch on that way of thinking that you as a young woman, straight out of university, just decided, I'm going straight into management. Is that what you would recommend to anybody, any young entrepreneur watching this show?
Yes. If you want to start a business, you should take action and talk to the people who has run successful business, who can give you advice, or go to a company who will give you opportunities.
So Tina Fang, you now run your own business, the Canadian Migration Institute. You've developed this business. You're bringing. It wasn't an easy road though for you. You had a couple of kids along the way.
Well, it was pretty hard in the beginning, I have to say, because when I moved back to Canada, we decided to move to a place called Malahide, where there was no immigrant. So I did have a website. We had a good track record overseas. So I started with the website and advertising on Google. However, the problem with Google is I get too many people random people, qualified or not, emailing me. So I was getting like 100 emails a day, and I had no staff, and I had a baby, and I was pregnant, and I was, doing a whole bunch of things, and plus I had a dog, so I had no time to respond to all these emails. So I talked to several program companies. They quoted me really high price, and that they own intellectual rights. So I said, that's not what I want. So I moved on to took a course myself, learned programming, database programming myself, and I programmed my own website. And it worked really well for me. And I was really lucky. I had very good clients, and they retained me. And not only they retained me, they were successful. And then they referred me. I had one British investor client. He was really well connected in UK. So after I successfully immigrated him to Canada, he referred me some corporate client, which they were headhunters, so they get doctors from UK, South Africa to remote areas of Canada. I did all their work permit. That's how my business starting to take off.
What a story! And now today,
yeah.
Your company is one of the leading companies in Western Canada. Certainly one of the strongest ones in Victoria for sure.
Yeah.
And none of this would have happened, and you've probably changed the lives of many, many immigrants plus Canadian businesses that have flourished from your efforts.
Yeah, I really enjoy doing what I'm doing.
Well, congratulations, Tina.
Yeah.
It's so great to have you on the show. And
thank you, Randy.
Keep up the great work of bringing China and Canada together.
Thank you.
Coming up next, Don Davies of Ashley Furniture Industries.
You think you know the Brick? Sure, everyone knows the Brick is the place for the guaranteed lowest prices on home furnishings. But do you know how we do it? Buying power, that's how. The Brick has over 200 locations across Canada, with over 7 million square feet of showrooms. That means we buy a lot of stuff from all over the world. And the more we buy, the more you save. The Brick. Saving you more. That's not just a slogan. Saving you more is our obsession.
Wonder lives in you. It's the moments that capture you and make you feel alive, leaving you breathless, wanting more. Feed your imagination, because some things are worth dreaming about, and some things are worth living. Rediscover your one.
Meet Andre. He's the founder of a new craft brewery. Andre has had early success with his company, but now he needs investors to help him grow his business and take it to the next level. This is where Front Funder comes in. You see, at Front Funder, we approach investing differently. We connect Andre to people like you and Mike, a craft beer enthusiast. By investing in Andre's company, Mike can continue to enjoy his craft beer while owning a piece of his favorite brewery. Then there's Kathy. She's a professional investor looking to diversify her portfolio. She also sees the potential for financial return in Andre's company. So Kathy invests through Front Funder. Front Funder enables you to support businesses you believe in. We screen all of our companies and perform an in-depth review, helping you make an informed investment decision. We make online investing simple and accessible to everyone. Select your favorite company, pay for your shares, and become an owner. It's that simple. An online investment experience from start to finish.
Don Davies has been in and out of the furniture business for over 40 years. Today, he operates his own business, representing one of the largest furniture manufacturers in the world, Ashley Furniture Industries. Welcome, Don. Now,
my pleasure.
Are you a senior executive with the largest furniture manufacturer in the world, or are you an independent businessman?
I am an independent businessman and an entrepreneur.
But this is in some ways you kind of are representing a big corporation, and this is a very interesting part of the whole entrepreneurial world. There's all kinds of people all over North America that are kind of like you. You're sort of a one-man company representing a very large multinational corporation, but dealing with independent furniture store owners.
That's correct.
So tell me about that. How does that work?
Well, I mean, we're each given our own territory. Mine is the BC interior. So I've got about 55 to 60 dealers that are located in the BC interior, and that would include the Okanagan up to Prince George, over to Prince Rupert, and as far north as Whitehorse in the Yukon.
So you're working for the company, but you're an independent businessman. And what are you doing? You're obviously helping these independent owners of Ashley stores do business.
That's correct, yes. We call ourselves, excuse me, marketing specialists. And that's a departure from the sales rep. And the reason we do that is the easiest thing in the world is to sell a sofa, for example. Where our expertise comes in is we assist the furniture dealer to move that sofa in the back door and out the front door. So we're actively involved in their advertising programs, how they merchandise their floor, as well as the use of social media.
And I take it that as you're owning your own business, you're incentivized by Ashley by how well the stores do.
Exactly, and I'm on commission, and the thing I like about that is no one can tell me how much money I can make. There's not a ceiling put on it. So the more I sell, the more I make. And I'm at that point now where last year I've brought on an associate, and we continue to grow our business. And I guess one of the most important things is I love my job. And
see, but you call it a job. That's interesting, because to me, this is a fascinating part of the whole entrepreneurial world, because we have people, young people, that want to be entrepreneurs, and they think they have to own their own business and have their own brand and so on. But there's this whole other world of entrepreneurship. So Don, tell me a bit about the furniture business as a whole. It's evolved like every other business. Tell me a bit about how Ashley has become the largest in the world.
Well, Ashley is the largest furniture manufacturer globally. A part of Ashley is called their Ashley Furniture Home Store chain. So it's a retail chain. It's not a franchise, it's a licensor agreement. We have in excess of 700 stores globally. So we are the largest big ticket furniture retail store in the chain in the world. And what Ashley does is really remarkable in my mind, is they hold an incredible amount of finished goods in one of 12 large distribution centers in the US. We have a company in China. We have 2 companies in Ho Chi Minh City in Vietnam. And we're truly a global company. But you have to ask yourself, what does that mean to the dealer? Because your inventory is the largest asset on a dealer's balance sheet, Ashley is able to slash that value by 75%.
When you say the inventory is the largest asset on the balance sheet, so a furniture store, an individual furniture store, the more stuff they have that they can sell, the better off they are. Like people want to
Yes.
have the choice,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So you're saying that Ashley has come up with a way to make it easier for those store owners to not have so much tied up in their inventory.
That's it, yeah, exactly.
So Don, the furniture business is obviously evolving and has changed over 40 years. I'm interested in your take on the manufacturing, and you're working representing one of the largest furniture manufacturers in North America, if not the largest. What's happening with the offshore-onshore issue?
Well, if you look at the number of furniture manufacturers that have gone the way of the dodo bird, both in Canada and the US, you'd be shocked. There's fewer and fewer every year. And we're talking some of the big guns too. And I would suggest the reason they've gone is because they've failed to embrace technology and they failed to embrace change. If you're not offshore, if you don't have some manufacturing facilities or access to manufacturing facilities offshore, you're just not competitive.
So where's the retail, we're just about out of time, but I want to just get your view on the whole bricks and mortar versus online retailing. So what's happening in the furniture business there?
Pretty simple. The Amazons, the Wayfairs of the world, the Alibabas of the world are picking away at the global business of the brick and mortar store. And we're of the position or the mindset that if I'm talking to a dealer and he or she doesn't have a transactional website, they're going the way of the dodo bird. And that's a reality in today's market.
So each one of these Ashley dealers needs to set up their own website
Absolutely.
and be able to transact business.
Absolutely. E-commerce is growing at a quantum leap, and if you're not on board, there's a chance you may not be around for a long time.
So the 40 years in the furniture business, I'm 40 years in this business. We're a couple of old timers.
Exactly. but we love it.
But you're on top of you're talking to your dealers and saying, hey guys, get with the, I don't even know, what is it? Is it the 2000s now, or we call it the 2010s? I was thinking about that the other day.
And believe me, the reason I want them to have a transactional website and to embrace change and embrace social media is it's purely perhaps a little greedy on my part, because I want them around.
Right.
Because the longer they stand around or they stay around in business, the more money I make.
Fantastic. Well, Don Davies, we learned a lot. Entrepreneur, owning his own business, but affiliated with like a mega company in the furniture business, Ashley Home Furnishings.
I've really enjoyed this, Randy.
Thanks so much.
Want help from someone who cares? PDC, Chartered Accountants. The approachable guys who care about you and your business.
You think you know the Brick? Sure, everyone knows the Brick is the place for the guaranteed lowest prices on home furnishings. But do you know how we do it? Buying power, that's how. The Brick has over 200 locations across Canada, with over 7 million square feet of showrooms. That means we buy a lot of stuff from all over the world. And the more we buy, the more you save. The Brick. Saving you more. That's not just a slogan. Saving you more is our obsession.
Peter, who's outside?
Rodger? I stole the chainsaw this morning.